raining in the feature. That's gonna throw a cat amongst the pigeons. And it's a formation like this time. Here it is. Okay, so it looks like we've gone with the order that they finished the main race in, or the sprint race in. Bompfin's on P1, Wogboy second, Karma P3, Mighty Wombat starting P4, Saucy in 5th, JBH 6th, Flex Offset in 7th, and so on. Voster in 8th, Scotty in 9th, Kush in 10th, Backend in 11th, Pulsey 12th, Chris 13th, Purple 14th, J-Jub 15th, Hood 16th, and now we've got Apex in here as well. Excuse the blue string for a moment. So I set the party up. Spectator options, let's put position change, tyres, everyone's on the wets, the full wets. Two mounts should be enabled. As the rest of the grid starts to form up. Let's start on the pole man, LFR Boffin. See what sort of launch she gets compared to the cars around. Everyone is on the grid now, and the lights are on somewhere, but I can't see them. 3, 4, 5 beeps, I think, and it's lights out sometime about now, and away we go. Bompfin's away, followed by Wogboy. They both got even sort of starts. Further back, they're all a bit more bunched up for P3 with Karma. JBH got a mega start, as he typically does. They all get through the first couple of corners all right. Let's look further back down through the field. They're going 3 wide in places, but seems clean, all clean so far. Further up the road, someone's off the road. It's Mighty Wombat off the road, I believe. Okay, so he's recovered to the track, where he's lost a stack of positions. Oh, was the car around there? I don't know. Where is all the action at? We have a spinner from Kush, or Minor Moment at least. Hood's up to 12, up 4 positions already. Further up the field, Karma has taken the lead from Wogboy. Alpha Bompson's down 2 spots. Karma goes a little bit wide. Wogboy looks like he's going to have a run at him. Let's look at this from Bompson's point of view. Bompson's looking at trying to get in on this action. Are they going to go 3 wide? He's on the grass a little bit. 3 wide through Ascari. He's surely not going to work for the lead. And Bompson backs off a little bit as they form single file lines. As Alpha Bompson goes off the track a little bit, comes back on in front of Scotty in P4. And Oscar P5. Now Bompson has had a moment again, and he's off the track and recovering, destroying some advertisement signs. further down the field, or back up the field. It's like 3 abreast going around Parabolka with Scotty, Oscar and JBH, I want to say. How's this going to play out on the run to turn 1? Is it going to stay clean? The 3 wide, just ahead. I think it's Flex and JBH, still 2 wide, going through the chicane. They get through it okay, with minimal contact, if any. Well, look at how great this racing is so already, 2 laps into it. On my stream, it kind of looks like it's dry watching it, but it's definitely wet on my screen. I think that might be a glitch of some sort of weird proportions. Yeah, on my screens. Oh wait, I'm watching my first video for the sprint, my bad. Okay, never mind me. 10 viewers, and look at this awesome action we got already. Wog Boys picked up a penalty. That would have been for track limits. He's got a bit of a margin over Karma, 1.6 for P2. Further back, I think Flex and Scotty or Oscar are going at it. Through Ascari side by side. Scotty had to go a little bit off track there. And through goes Oscar. That's behind him. Here comes K-Money, the PRL Season 3 Tier 1 champion for our most recent season. Is up to P8. Around Parabolka once again. Karma sets the fastest lap of the race. It's eclipsed by Flex Offset. The rain doesn't look like it's that heavy. It may be getting lighter. Wonder if they're gonna be switching to inters or dries at some point shortly. Let's see what's going on. Flex is still all over the back of JBH for P3. As I said, it's like Wog Boys got a bit of a margin over Karma, and in turn Karma has a bit of a margin over JBH. But Wog Boys got a penalty of probably 3 seconds, I would say, for corner cutting, but I didn't see it. Through the second chicane, single file they stay. Further back, Scotty's harassing Oscar for P5. And are they 3 wide or 2 by 2 behind? They are. It's Chris, W1 and Saucity, followed by Backend and Kush, I believe. Saucy takes the position. Chris goes a little bit wide, that's allowed. Backend to take the position of 8th back, which I think he was in before, but Chris is all over the back of him and might get a good run heading into Ascari. Chris is looking to go around the outside of Backend. It doesn't manage it for the time being as Kush picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple corner cutting. Chris is looking fast though compared to our season 3 Tier 1 champion. Gets the move done. Mighty is all over this battle too. Also a little bit of contact between Kush and Backend there, I think. These 4 cars are so close together. Further up, it looks like Flex and JBH are going into the chicane, as is Scotty and Oscar. Flex takes P3 from JBH. Looks like Oscar's going to hold on to 5th as back down to this battle. Saucy's in 7th. Chris is looking around the outside of him. Well, there's action everywhere. It's hard to keep up. I need a co-commentator, that's for sure. Where's Danny Rick? Where's Hellbent? Let's go on to this camera action shot, which I don't really see much on. As side by side, further back down the field, it is somebody and somebody else. Who's going to come back on top of that battle? Might have been Kush and Backend once again, as they've got a bit of a margin over my Wombat now. Oh, this F2 racing is great. We should do more of this. We should do more of this. As back end and Kush are still battling. Mighty is catching back up to these two. Kush goes a little bit wide. That's allowed back end to get a run around the outside, heading to Power Bulker. But Kush holds onto it for now. It's just behind us too. Boffin is starting to try and make his way back through the field. He's up to 12th. He's just past Hook Kool-Aid Man. But Hook Kool-Aid Man's looking to get back past him. He's so close to the back of him. Pelosi's all over the back of him as well. As Hood goes around the outside, they're three abreast. It looks like they are three abreast. Hood on the outside, Pelosi up the middle. Alpha in the middle. I think they made a little bit of contact there, but they got away with it. Well, I need another drink. I'm 5 laps in and I need another drink. Okay, Bonfin has just got back past Hood for 12th position. Further up, Karma has lost a stack of time to Wogboy and he's picked up a penalty as well. He's got JBH and Flex all over the back of him, heading towards Ascari now. So the battle for P2 is a 10th of a second between 3 cars. They all seem to form a single file line well enough as they get to Ascari. As Flex looks to go around the outside of... Sorry. Someone's going around the outside of someone else. Karma's struggled to get traction down there and he's let them both through. One on either side. Slotted it back in behind them. As JBH is trying to take P2 now from Flex. Karma's getting back involved once again. JBH has got second place for now as they head through the first chicane. Flex has got the better traction around the outside line. And now Flex is in P2. Where else is there any action? Everywhere probably. Back end's pretty close to Chris for 8th. These two have been battling the whole race as someone had to cut the chicane there. It might have been Mighty Wombat. I think it was Mighty Wombat. As behind him, LFR and Kush are going at it. I think LFR just got past Kush for P11. As he makes his recovery, he's down 10 positions from his pole starting position. Wildboy has run away with it. He's got a 7.5 second lead. As now Scotty has gotten past Karma. Karma's having a bit of a rough time of it as of late. I wonder if he's picked up any wing damage or something. It looks all good. JBH and Flex are still fighting. They've been fighting the entire race. Now for P2, they've dropped Karma. In fact, Karma's got done by Scotty. Looks like JBH has gone around the outside and has got that move done into turn 1 very nicely. Has he gone a little bit deep, a little bit slidey in the wet conditions? Maybe a smidge. Flex is all over the back of him again. What's going to happen in the run into the second chicane, whatever this one's called? Again, JBH drifting the thing around it. Gone a bit deep and wide, and that's allowed Flex to get back past him. Scotty is caught right at the back to the back of these two now as well. Does anyone know what the weather's going to do? Is there anyone in the live chat? I doubt it because everyone's still racing. There's been no DNFs. Looks Looks like something's happened to Purple at some point. He's lost a fair bit of time and is running in 17th. As JBH takes second place back again, but goes off the track. And there's, in the background is a drift from Karma in 5th, I believe. It's got Oscar all the back of him, but oh shit, something's happened here. Something has occurred between Flex and JBH has hit the wall, but he's come back on. He was ghosting. And he's going into the pit lane. He must have picked up wing damage there. Didn't quite see exactly how that occurred. Further up, it's Oscar and Karma battling for what is now P3. Flex has got a margin now. I believe the others lost some time to him after that incident between himself and JBH. They may have to avoid JBH. I've been right about where JBH would end up back on track. Karma's down to 6th position now. He must have some damage or something because he was doing so well earlier. And he's lost a stack of time. Ooh, he's looking a bit laggy on my screen. He's been looking a bit laggy most of the race for some reason. Now where's the action at? Further back down the field, back end and Mighty going around the outside of the back end. Looks like he's going to get that job done through a scar. He goes a little bit deep. So we're looking through LFR's point of view. He's just behind him. He's going to try and get them both here. Or he's getting a bit pushed to the outside there. Let's change camera angles there. As back end's getting Mighty back from the looks of it on the run down to turn 1. L5's on the grass again a little bit, try and get past both of them. It looks like he may just do it. Onto the brakes into turn 1. Do they leave each other enough space? Yes, so far so good. Now they're 3 abreast as back end is going back around the outside of both of them and arriving on the scene, because of course he is PRL Kush. Making us the 4-car strap now. Look at them darting and weaving all over the place. They're 3 abreast again. This is not going to work into this corner. Someone's got to back out here. And there's a little bit of contact, a bit pushy there. Is Kush going to take advantage and get past all 3 of them at once? I think Kush may just do that. Kush has just got 3 moves done, or 2 of them at least already, in the space of 50 meters. Still battling with Mighty Wombat for 8th position. Goes a little bit deep, makes a little bit of contact through the second Lesmo. So they've got the run down to Ascari now. What's going to happen now? The 2x2 to get to the next camera shot. Got Kush, who's got the position from Mighty, back end, and LFR side by side. They make a little bit of contact. LFR almost spins, but they're still all good. This is even allowing Hood Kool-Aid to catch back up to this battle. Might be a 5-car strap momentarily. Sorry, just had a little bit of technical difficulties. Pumping up my own viewing figures for the first sprint race. I think I've just watched it like 5 times by mistake. Try and have this one up on my screen. As things have settled down a little bit, I catch my breath and have a sip of beer. That's tasty. Just as tasty as the action on track. Yeah, Wogboy has fully bolted now. He's got an 11-second margin over flex offset. He's got a little bit of a gap to Oscar in P3 of almost 2 seconds. As once again, Boffin and Kush this time are going out into the scurry. I think Boffin has got him, but Kush is fighting back. Is he going to be able to hold on track? There's a bit of a drift, and then Kush goes wide as well. Heading out to Powerbolka once again. What happened to back end? Did back end get spun at some point, which I missed? He's lost a bit of time to this battle. Kush all over the back of LFI. He's looking for the inside line. Is he going to be braver on the brakes? Is the track looking dry? Still sprinkling fairly heavy. Doesn't look like there's many puddles as such on the track. Wonder if enters would be the go at some point. At the very least. As up ahead now, Bonfin is going up the inside of Mighty Wombat into that chicane. They give each other a respectful amount of room. A little bit of lag, maybe a little bit of contact there into the first of the Lesmos. Mighty on the inside, Bonfin on the outside, Bonfin on the exit curve. Mighty on the inside, on the... Give me a better camera shot, please, game. Now Kush is all over this as well, and Hood and back end have caught back up as well. This is now a 5-car scrap for P8 as they all get through Scary cleanly, but there's a big moment in the background from back end, I believe. Okay, Money as they're 3 wide now heading into Powerbolka. Kush was on the inside but had the back right out of it. Mighty in the middle. Bonfin was on the outside, I believe. Now Kush is into 9th. He's got Mighty at least. But for how long, as Mighty was looking to go around the outside, but then Kush decided to go have a look around the outside of LFI, and there's a little bit of contact. Strasher, a fair bit of contact, and that's pushed Kush across the chicane as he's rejoined the track and lost some time. Then Boffin has hit the back of Mighty there and damaged some wing, I believe, or hit something from the side of the track off it. Now Hood, got very close to back end and hit back end, I think. It's allowed Mighty back through. Now, is there any other action anywhere? It's like the top 6-ish have spread out a little bit. Well, Karma's still within the second of Saucy for 5th. This is definitely the battle pack of the ages here. As behind Mighty, looks like Hood and Bonfin are going side by side into a Scary. Do they give each other enough? Hood is onto the curve, but they've got through it. Oh, now he's been hit. Hood got hit in the back from LFR and has spun into the wall, and he's definitely lost the end plate there and got some damage. He's going to have to box. That's unfortunate for Hood Kool-Aid. Let's see if he does box. Back end has had a moment or something as well, and he's gone into the pits and retired from the session. Hood has kept going with a damaged wing. It's more than the end plate, it's like the middle-ish part of the wing, or most of it on the left-hand side of Hood's car. It's now gone. But seems like Karma is catching back up to Saucity now for P5. That might just be the end of the battling for P8 for now. Or definitely for P8, because Kush has pulled the gap over Marty. Bompfin's still pretty close to Marty for 9th. Just check in with the leaders. Hey, haven't really given him any love. It's like a Max Verstappen or Lewis Hamilton performance from Boy. It's fully in control, driving into the distance. Just set another fastest lap of the race of 140.667, almost the devil's favourite number. A 12.5 second lead over Flex now. Biggest gainers of the race. Well, so far, Flex, Oscar and Scotty are all up 5 positions from where they started. Being a good drive from them to get in the 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Saucity's in the same position as where he started for the time being, but Karma is all over him. Karma is trying to get past Saucity now on the exit of turn 2, and he's done it. Now Karma's down 2 spots, Saucity's down 1, Wogboy's up 1. Biggest winner so far is iChris W1, who's had a stonking race to get himself up to 7th. He was part of that battle originally with K Money for the most part for like 8th. He gave away from him before the rest of the pack call up and turned to a mega strap. Kush is up 2 spots, Marty's up 5, down 5 for Marty. Down 9 for Bompfin. The biggest loser from the pole man. He's still trying to recover his way through the field, but there was a lot of fighting with those 4 or 5 cars for many laps there. 5, 6 laps. As he's looking to get past Mighty again. On the run to the Scary, he's picked the outside line as they apply the brakes. Bompfin goes a little bit wide, leave each other the room. Hood Kool-Aid has left the session. Bompfin is now taking the inside line up to Powerbolker. Mighty's trying to hold it around the outside. We'll get a better run down the straight. We switch to the inside line. Is he going to pit? It looks like Mighty is pitting. What's he going to go on to in terms of tyre, or is this a wing change for damage that may occur at any moment in that battle? Let's stay on board with him and find out. All the way down to the last pit box for Mighty with one back for whatever team he's driving for. I don't know much about F2. He's gone to another set of wet compound tyres. Nice spot from whoever that team that is. Okay, so I've had the positions up for quite a while. Let's see. Stops. JBH is the first of the stoppers, followed by Mighty now. So JBH might be, he was in battling for 2nd before there was contact with Flex earlier on. He might still be in with a strong shout of top 5 result. It's Mighty as on board with Wogboy as he sets it another fastest lap of the race. He just keeps getting faster and faster. Maybe it's drying up because you think these wet tyres were starting to wear after 16 laps. Maybe the rain's getting lighter and these cars are getting faster. Maybe someone might try into this shortly. So you can hear how much he's struggling to get on the power. Okay, so yeah, the stoppers are JBH, Mighty and Hood has stopped twice now. He's in the pit lane again now. Tyres. Hood's just come out of the pit lane for a 2nd time. He's on 13 lap old wets. They must only get 2 wet tyres. He's gone back onto the same set he was on earlier. Maybe he picked up wing damage for a 2nd time, or they didn't change. I just got a message from JBH, rain not going away. Okay, thanks JBH. Awesome battles, Antonio Giovinazzi. It's been an awesome race to watch just far, but it seems like it's starting to spread out a little bit now after the madness of 3-4 wides or 3-4-5 car battles for many laps now. So Marty's on the newest tyres, only 1 lap old. Everyone else ahead of him other than JBH, who stopped after picking out damage, is on 15 lap old tyres. They've been on for the whole race as Wildboy sets a new fastest lap of the race. 140.541 now. He's going like half a tenth faster every lap, it seems. Could you stretch a set of wets in F2 for the whole race? Would they last, or is a stop mandatory, or I should say, will the tyres just explode if you try and do that? Let's get that off the screen as Scotty is trying to get past Oscar for P3 and made a little bit of contact there. I think that Oscar has held onto it for the time being. This seems to be the newest, latest, hottest battle. Oh, I'm losing my voice. More beer is needed. Whew. We've got a yellow in sector 1 and 2. It's a blue car of some description, has had a spin. No, Hood's left the session. May have been JBH, I'm not sure. Scotty's still over the back of Oscar, and this battle for P3 is not done yet. Another fastest lap from Wogboy, 140.379 this time. That's like a tenth and a half faster than his last lap before that, so he's proved me wrong that he's going half a tenth faster every lap. He's just gained another tenth out of nowhere. As around Power Bubble Car, Scotty's all over the back of Oscar. Which way is he going to go on the run down to turn 1? He's going for the outside line, which will turn to the inside line for turn 2. This is a chicane, if he can hold on to it. Oscar is inching ahead though, and it looks like he's a bit brave on the brakes, so there's a little bit of contact there, or less it was lag. Maybe Oscar on the back of, from Scotty on the back of Oscar, but no harm done. Any other battles to look at? 16 second gap, 3.5, 6 tenths, 3.5, 1.4, 10 seconds, 2 seconds, 6 seconds, 2.5, no. 8 seconds, 12 seconds, 8 seconds, 16, 15, 33. Alright. I think we need a safety car or something to bring everyone back together for some excitement, or for the pit stops to start to happen a bit more regularly if everyone needs to stop. Bring everyone back together. See if anyone tries to do the no stopper and stay out for the whole race, because we're well and truly over the halfway distance now. 18 laps into the 30 lap feature F2 race, the PRL invitational Christmas Grand Prix, we'll call it. Wallboy does another fastest lap of the race. JW gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. That's a hefty one. Let's check in with him. Might have just went straight on at turn 1. Marty's down to 13th now. He's 8.3 seconds behind JBH. I think that's been about the same gap since he pitted. He does have the fresher rubber by a long way over everyone, and by a fair bit still over JBH as well. Okay, here we go. Bonfin is finally caught up to someone else. He's catching up to Chris, down to 7.5 tenths. Another battle is brewing. Ooh, down to 6 temps now. It's gaining fast. 18 lap old. Wet tyres for both drivers. Bonfin's got a penalty. How's the penalty situation looking like? Okay, so the race leader, G-Force Wogboy, has 5-second penalties, as Scotty just picks up his first and 3-second worth of penalty. That'll give Oscar a bit of a sigh of relief. The 3 cars behind Oscar have penalties, so Oscar's looking like the goods for podium at the moment if he can keep it on the track, even if he gets passed by those couple cars but stays close behind them. Looks like Chris just left. Bumped in an acre of room to get past him there. Well, he's on his way to chase after Saucity, but with 12 and a half seconds, that's a big gap. With 10 laps to go, or 11 technically, I think. It's over a second a lap. He needs a catch to get anyone else higher than 7th. Can Chris stay within the 3 seconds to keep that position? Yeah, so as I was saying, Wogboy's got 5 seconds. Scotty, Karma, Saucity and LFR Bonfin have 3 seconds. Flex and Oscar have nothing in P2 and 3, as well as Chris in P8. Kush and Kush has 6 seconds. Polsky has 3 seconds. Apex has nothing down in 11th. JBH has 3 seconds. Marty has nothing. Purple has nothing. A yellow flag in sector 3. Hood has nothing. J Duff has 18 seconds running in 16th. We've only had 1 retirement so far from the race in back end after some contact, I believe, or he lost it into the wall on his own accord with Mighty, but I was watching the battle further back at the time. Also have Hood Kool-Aid has left the session, is in AI mode, and Purple as well, I think. It looks like. Come on, boys, I'm starting to run out of things to talk about. Give us something. Here's something. Scotty's still over the back of Oscar. Old boy picks up another 3-second penalty. So he's up to 8 seconds worth of penalties, but he has an 18-second margin over Flex in second. So unless there's a safety car or something to bring the field back together, looks like he's going to be able to hold on to the win, even if he picks up another couple of penalties. We're 21 laps in now, and still not many people are pitted. It seems like most people are going to go for the 0 stopper at this point. Yep, still only the 4 drivers who have done any stops. Still up 5 positions apiece, and from 2nd to 4th, as well as Chris in 8th. Apex is now the biggest gainer, up 6 to 11th from 17th. He started last. He wasn't in the sprint race, so he must have been a late joiner. And he's doing quite well for himself. As for the losers, we've got Karma down 2 spots, Saucity down 1, Bonfin down 6. He's making a bit of a recovery. He's still 12 seconds behind Saucity. There's only 8 laps to go now, or 9 laps to go now. So yeah, I think 7th is going to be where he ends up. He's already got 4.5 seconds over Chris, so he's outside the penalty window. Mighty's down 9, JBH is also down 6. Come on. Safety car, safety car, safety car. See if Scotty can do anything with Oscar here, and also to turn 1. Then I might check and see if safety cars are even on them or not. Ooh. Got yellow in sector 1. Might have been J-Dub again, I think. Recovering from something. Scotty's still very close indeed to Oscar. He's gained a couple attempts around Powerbolka in the slipstream. Gonna pull out, trying to pull out to the inside if Oscar allowed it, which he just did. Who's going to be bravest on the brakes? He's got the inside line. Oscar knows he's got the 3-second penalty, so didn't fight it that hard in the end. Any other battles materializing? Not really. Saucedy is now ahead of Chris. Chris may have had a moment somewhere and lost a stack of time. Alright, let's check if safety cars are things. Settings. Simulation settings. Okay, so reduce damage. Rules and flags. Yeah. Safety cars are on, reduced. So there is still a chance of a late safety car if someone has an accident. Looks like Karma and Oscar are looking at having an accident. I mean, sorry, it's Karma. No, it's not even Karma at all. My bad, it's Oscar and Scotty. Still battling away for P3. Also coming back at Scotty. He's gone for the outside line. Turn to the inside line. You generally get better traction on the outside, which then turns to the inside. Oh, they're very close to touching there. As the camera cut away, but they're still there together. Heading up to the second chicane. Ooh, a little bit of contact again between Scotty and Oscar, but they got away with it. Oscar has retaken P3. More beer, please. I will try and grab the top 3 for podium interviews afterwards as well, if you're interested in that. But at the moment we're down to 1 concurrent viewer. We did have about 10 earlier when shit was intense. But shit is less intense now and we've lost most of the viewers. And the 1 viewer may just be myself. J-Dub picks up a 10-second penalty, may get disqualified if he keeps that up much longer. Must have gone straight on turn 1. He's still going. That's the achievement in these conditions. J-Dub is rather new to the game. I believe he's friends with Kush. Bumpin has got done by Chris somehow. Bumpin was well ahead of him. Ooh. Back up to the battle for third. Chris was down to 8th before. Saucedy was ahead of him. I think Saucedy made a box. Are these wet tyres not going to make it to the end? Is it going to have to be a late pit stop from everyone? Or for most people? We have a retirement. Bumpin. Where's that? in the pit lane, I think. World Boy picks up another 3-second penalty, but that won't really affect him much. Are we going to get a safety car? Doesn't seem like it. I think it was just in the pit lane retirement. Ooh, very nearly lost it there, Saucity. Stops. Yes, Saucity did box, and he's ended up back behind Marty. Marty's down to, got the gap to JBH down to 2.5 seconds. It was about 8.5 earlier. We might be able to catch him before the end. Most of the drivers still haven't boxed. Karma is now joining the fray for the battle for third. It doesn't seem like he's going that fast, or where he is. He just didn't really look at it for a sec. So we're up the road. Scotty and Oscar still battling for P3. A little bit of contact once again. Oscar holds on to P3. JBH picks up a 3-second penalty again. Or maybe his first one, but probably not. Alright, this is the battle for till the end. Looks like a three-way fight for P3. Oscar doesn't have any penalties. I think Scotty and Karma have 3 seconds of penalties each. I'll just double check that again. Pivovsky picks up another 3-second penalty. He's up to 9 now, Pivovsky. Yep, Scotty and Karma have 3 seconds, so it's a straight fight between those two. World Boy's up to 11 seconds, but he has a 21.5 second lead with 4 laps to go. Surely he doesn't bomb it from there. And down to 3 laps to go, so the chances of a safety car are pretty much over unless something happens in the next lap. So they go through Parabolica for one of the final times. Scotty's all over Oscar once again, going for the outside line into turn 1, which will turn to the inside line. He's a bit further ahead this time. He's going to be bravest on the brakes to get through there cleanly-ish. Yeah, cleanly-ish. It was a bit of a sideways moment from Scotty, maybe from a little bit of contact or just under power. Karma is getting interested, very interested indeed in this. So head up to the second chicane now. Oscar on the outside of Scotty. Karma's trying to get past him on the inside, which now is the outside for the Lesmos, Lesmo 1. Followed shortly after by Lesmo 2. Scotty has a little bit of a margin of now over Oscar. Any other battles happening? Maybe Kush is catching up to Chris for 6, but Kush does have 6 seconds worth of penalties to nothing for. Chris, as World Boy, just set another fastest lap of the race. He's into the 139s point something now. I didn't quite catch it. So yeah, I think everyone's just going to be able to get to the end on the without stopping, other than the couple we have. Marty is now caught all the way back up to the back of JBH as well. He's down to 7 tenths now. Kush might be about to pass. Chris as well. As we get through turn 1 with these boys, looks like it's going to stay the way it is. Yeah, here's Kush now, or over the back of Chris. He does have 6 seconds worth of penalties. We take that into account. Will Chris take that into account and just let him through? Side by side into the braking zone. Kush on the outside. It goes a little bit deep, or he lets Chris get back through. Okay, next battle up. Next battle up is Mighty Wombat over I Love JBH. He's gaining quite a lot. Looking to the inside line, but he's a little bit too far back. He's further back up the field. Oscar and Chris are side by side. I mean, Oscar and Scotty. Karma picks up a 3-second penalty again. Scotty holds on to P. Ooh, it's very close between Karma and... For now, looks like Karma's trying to get around the outside of Oscar. Is this the last lap now once they cross the line, or are they still on the second last lap? Still the second last lap. Karma's gaining, doesn't quite send it on Oscar. All Oscar really needs to do is hang with these two and he'll get promoted back up to third under penalties. But I'm sure he wants to finish P3 on the road. So over back again. We have Kush getting closer to Chris, but he's not quite as close as he was last time, and he's just hanging out behind him. As Chris gets a little bit sideways through turn 1 and then turn 2. Ooh. Now he's a lot closer. Further back, Mighty Wombat's closer than he was last lap to JBH down the straight. He's gaining in the slipstream. Is he going to be able to send a late move to the outside? He's thinking about it. He does it. Late on the brakes, turns the inside line. They leave each other enough room. They do so far. Maybe a little bit of contact there. But they get away with it. And Chris holds on to, JBH holds on to 10th position on the track for now. Mighty might get him on the run to next chicane, but doesn't. Further up the field once again. Oscar and Scotty are side by side around Powerbolker for the 30th time out of 30 laps. And then Karma decided that maybe I should get involved in this action too. And Karma has gotten back past Oscar, and now he's looking to move up to third on the track. Are they going to go 3 abreast into turn 1 on the last lap? Surely not. So I should go to the car ahead. Scotty's in P3 on the outside, I believe. Karma got a bit of a crappy exit and wheel spin there. That's allowed Oscar back through in the 4th position. Okay, we should probably get on board with our leader. He's set in the purple sector once again, sector 2. Is he going to do another fastest lap of the race on the last lap of the race with a 25-second margin on 30 lap old tyres? He's coming up to Powerbolker, just one corner to... I've lost my train of thought, to negotiate now. And he's done it well, as he has the whole race. We've barely seen him, G-Force Wog Boy, cross the line with a 25-second margin, but he had like 11 or 13 seconds worth of penalties or something. Flex will get P2 eventually, with no penalties whatsoever. A great drive from Flex to our P3 man in Tier 1 Championship this year, as well as last season as well. Around the last corner, so it was 25 seconds, it turns into 14 seconds, so it was 11 seconds worth of penalties. And meanwhile, back for P3 is where all the action is. Scotty's going to take it on track, followed by Oscar and Karma, but Oscar takes P3 under penalties. P6 is another decent margin back as they come into Powerbolker now. Kush is going to cross the line in P6, but he's got some penalties, and Chris doesn't, so that's going to change around. I think there may have been an overtake from Perolsky on Apex just further back from these two, and Chris gets promoted to P6 over Kush in P7. Perolsky's in P8 over Apex, but again he has penalties and Apex doesn't. Mighty Wombat did end up getting JBH at some point on that last lap, or lap and a bit, which I missed. My apologies. Yeah, Closely crosses the line 8th, but then he gets done by Apex and Mighty. Ends up 9th. Polsky ends up 10th. JBH 11th. Saucy will cross 12th and is the last to finish because others were laps down or weren't in the race anymore. What a race, you boys. That was very entertaining stuff, particularly the first half. There was some crazy good battles. We should do F2 more often. The rain in Monza was treacherous, but pretty much everyone finished other than back end, and I think a couple were in AI from like half that race in Hood and Purple, but everyone else did the whole race. So congratulations to Wogboy for taking the victory from Flex in P2. Oscar P3. Scotty finishes 4th, but he was P3 on the road. Karma 5th. Great drive from Chris from 13th to 6th. So I reckon Chris might get my driver of the day for having a stonking drive. Although that seems kind of unfair, maybe the Wogboy, because it was so dominant. And I think he did do another fastest lap of the race on the last lap, 139.1, 7.6. P7 for Kush, P8 for Apex, P9 for Mighty, P10 Polsky, P11 JBH, P12 Saucy, P13 Purple, P14 Hood, P15 J-Dub. Oh, that's right, Boffin did retire towards the end in the pits, I believe, as did back end a bit earlier in 16th and 17th. Our 2 DNFs, J-Dub, Hood were 2 laps down, Purple's AI finish 1 lap down. Alright, I'm going to call up the podium sitters, which were Wogboy, Flex and Oscar. Make sure you got your audio settings to allow you to accept or speak, be heard on stream. So we have Wogboy, Flex, and Oscar. Apologies. All this blue screen while I sort this shit out. I can't fucking find anyone. One moment, my apologies. Alright, there we go. I've added them. I've sent out the call, as Danny Rick would say. And Oscar has joined the party first, so I'll talk to Oscar first about his race. Hey Oscar, how you going, man?
Good, you?
Yeah, good, man. That was a very entertaining race to commentate over and watch. Talk us through your race. You finished 3rd in the end, didn't you? You had a pretty race-long battle with Scotty and Karma at the end for P3. How was that for you in the wet conditions?
I don't know, great racing with him. I was battling him a lot in the sprint race as well, so we were together all the whole sprint and remaining race.
I think I called, you went side by side around Powerbolka for the 30th time out of 30 laps at the end there, so you guys were fighting all the way to the end.
Yeah, it was anybody's. Like I think he caught the penalty, and he ended up finishing in front of me, but he had that penalty.
Yeah,
but
he finished
it was
3rd at the end on the
race,
track, but yeah, he copped a penalty as the Karma copped a couple towards the end. But anyway, awesome race, man. That was very entertaining to watch. And Wogboy just left the party. I was going to get to him in a second. Oh well. Flex, you're here. Talk us through your race.
Well, to start, I had like an awesome fight with Karma and JBH, I think, but like we're losing so much time to the G-force in front. I don't know where his pace came from, but I forgot we even had this race. I was like making setups and time trial like 2 minutes before it started,
Yeah, it seemed like, yeah, was it, what happened to JBH? Was it a contact or you just lose it at some point? I didn't quite catch it. I was watching cars behind you.
I was going on a straight, and my front right wheel, and his back left wheel were like close to each other, and then he turned left, so he just went across the front of me, and he got the worst end of the stick there.
Yeah, he had the box, and I think he had a solid recovery to 10th or something like that, but he was still, before that, you guys were going like at it, like I was saying, with Oscar, like lap after lap. And there was so many crazy battles. There was Harley Cable top on. There was like another 4 or 5 car battle further back for like 8th position. That was lap after lap for ages, or at least like half the lap race before um, start to unravel.
Good machinery.
Yeah, Wogboy seems like he was just on another level though. He drove away with the race pretty early on, finished 25 seconds ahead, but he picked up a fair few penalties, but it didn't really matter because he was so far ahead. So great race to Wogboy as well. But, great race to both you guys, and congratulations on the podium. Thanks for taking part in the PRL F2 Monza Christmas Invitational, I'm going to call it. And that's what it is. Merry Christmas, everyone, and thanks everyone for watching. I'll end the stream here. An awesome race from the PRL boys. If you're interested in joining us, if you enjoyed what we saw here, hit myself up on PSN, PRL /Aussie 94, or get in contact us another way through YouTube or Discord, or I think there's a Facebook page that Danny Rick runs as well. So thanks everyone, and catch you later. Merry Christmas and have a happy New Year.